not seeing almost any momentum stocks right now really pushing hard. I did mention yesterday that I thought there were some indicators that momentum was substantially slowing down, and I closed down my options. Yeah, it does look like AMC's down a little bit as well. Yeah, AMC down about 3.3. Yeah, so keep an eye on this. Workhorse, Root, Matterport. Some of these slowing down. They go in cycles. They go in cycles. All right. It's interesting. All right. I'm not sure if that's the cycle yet, or if it's just is what it is. All right, CPI data. All right, we're gonna get to refreshing now. So we are ready to grab it. Should be out within the next 30 seconds or so. Okay, folks, this is where we're looking. Okay, we're looking right here. CPI raises 0.8 in April, and we are just going to see what it says as we refresh. The funny thing is, sometimes this website gets so overwhelmed. There it is. 0.6. It literally hit expectations. Wow, it perfectly matched. That's incredible. Hold on a sec. I'm going to jump on over on this, and we're going to actually read this document. And here we go. Come on. There, got it. Okay, so here it is. It is 0.6% in May. Okay. Here, used cars and trucks still 7.3%. The food index increased 0.4%, same as April. Energy with a decline in natural gas. We have the April index for all items less food and energy rose 0.7 after increasing 0.9% in April. 0.7 all so you actually had a decline then in food, right? Yeah. The food index increased 0.4. Yeah, food actually helped weigh this down. That's interesting. So food helped weigh this down. The there it is. See, they got their headline number. Look at that. 5% for 12 months. That's the clickbait. I knew it was going to be higher. That's the clickbait. But this is actually good. A 0.6. See, these are the month over month figures right here. This is what we want, folks. We literally want this decline. Now, it's going to slow down, but as long as we stay on this trend, it's very, very important. The last thing you want to see is these bars starting to do this. That would be very, very bad. Okay, we're gonna hop around here really quick because I want to look at some of these specific items here. Okay, so hopping around, hopping. Oh, let's see here. No, went too far. Hold on. Let's see here. Okay, food, energy. So, okay, let's go over here for a sec. The index of food increased by 0.4%. So that actually helped weigh this down. All 6 major store food groups rising. In May, the increase was mostly due to meat, poultry, fish, and eggs. We just saw that news piece there with pork, which increased 1.3% month over month. Largest increase since last June. The index for cereals and bakery products rose 0.5% in May. Index in dairy rose 0.4%. In contrast to these issues, the index for non-alcoholic beverages declined in May. So beverages down 0.5%. Okay. Food away from home increased 0.6%. These are pretty nominal right here. I mean, it's still, if you annualize these things, I guess I shouldn't call them nominal, because if you annualize this is still like 7.2%, right? But we're not really, we're not really expecting these numbers where we still have supply chain issues to annualize out like this. So yeah, the gasoline index declined 0.7%. So this actually helped drop the overall CPI reading. But again, if we do less energy, all items less food and energy. Right. Okay. Gas also had a decline. So that way, when we take out food and energy, we get to a 0.7% increase in May. It's okay. It's okay. Right. Pretty much right along expectations there. And what else here? Yeah. Used cars and trucks. It's actually, I like seeing this. I like seeing that there's sort of still one big thing that's sending this signal of, oh my gosh, inflation, right? But I like that it's just used cars and trucks. Like, that is going to abate. That will go away. Supply chains will catch up. Cars and trucks are the most one of the most competitive products that exists in the United States. Companies do not have a lot of pricing luxuries usually, and as soon as supply chain catches up, the prices for used cars and trucks is going to plummet at some point. I would say later this year, into mid next year. But yeah, it's already inflecting down with a 0.73% increase compared to the 0.10% increase. Shelter index rose 0.3%. Rent went up 0.2%. What else? What else? Let's see. Home furnishings increased 1.3%, while restoration hardware is kicking butt. Medical index down 0.1%. Okay. Let's see. So you can also look at their chart here. See, here is particularly where you can see year over year, all items 0.5%. It's going to be, you're going to get the clickbait there of the all items figure altogether here. Let's look at some of these individual things on a month over month. So it's the next item right here, or the next slide, is where you get the April to May changes. So let's see. See, interesting. Here they put 0.8%. And yeah, because the way they read the headline, hold up. Unadjusted. Oh, unadjusted. Okay. Seasonally adjusted. Here, these are the reference points. So they do the little seasonal adjustments here. So 0.6% month over month. Okay, let's see what was pretty high here. Here's a 1.3. This is the meat, poultry, fish, and eggs. It's another one that stands out. Here's piped natural gas, up about 1.7. Apparel, up 1.2. Commodities still up 1.8. New vehicles also rose 1.8. Used 7.3. That's such a huge number. Airline fares. Wow. Airline fares, 7%. It's a big bump month over month. Flour, baked goods, cereals, 1 to 1.3%. There's meat, poultry, beef roasts. What's up with the beef roasts? The beef roast, 6.4%. But ham is down 3.6%. So if you want to save money, go buy ham as long as it's not canned. But if you want to be, spendy, then you go for the beef roasts. Okay, or fish is up 2.2% here. What else do we have here? Whole milk, 3.1%. Oh, milk going up. Coffee, oh, what a ripoff. Up 0.5%. I guess that's not that bad. Yeah, oils, all right, butter, margarine, whatever. I don't know that we want to go through all of this. We'll look for massive ones here. Airline tickets, that was a big mover. Just doing a quick skim here for big numbers. Yeah, and then we'll go ahead and see how the market's reacting. Yeah, wow. Car and truck rental up 12.1%. And we've got, what else here? All right, that's pretty much it. The other things mostly stayed flat. Services. Oh, this is good though. Seeing services. Services is a space where an economist PhD who wrote an article on Bloomberg indicated that services are going to be something you have to pay attention to in terms of something that might go up. And if services go up, then maybe the Fed ends up being totally wrong with how inflation is expected to respond in the market, and that we might end up getting this hyperinflation because services go up. But we're so far, I mean, CPI is measuring services as well, and we're not seeing any of that. So very good. Okay, let's go ahead and just see how the market is responding to this here. Okay, so we've got the S&P 500 here. We had our release here at 8:30 at a tiny little red candlestick here, but honestly, I mean, this is it's like it went down 0.09%, like 0.09%. This is nothing. This is like zero movement here. Let's try the Nasdaq. See, look, the Dow actually popped, Dow Industrials popped. S&P has some tech, so down a little. With although we hit expectations. So I mean, but these are so fractionally. This is like not even worth referring to. Nasdaq 100. Okay. Well, Weeble's not showing me pretty fine. All right. But anyway, nominal movements here. Oh, there it is. Nasdaq is sitting down right now. Tiny little bit. Was it 0.39? There it is. Yeah. All right. And year over year, CNBC's got up. Year over year minus food and energy, we're at 3.8%. If you take a 5% headline number, it's going to be such clickbait. This is the news just going to run with that. 5% inflation. Oh my gosh. And anybody who doesn't look at the month over month data is just going to freak out. Oh my gosh, 5%. Like, I wonder what they put on the top of the Wall Street Journal. Let's see. Wall Street Journal. Yeah. See, look at that. Consumer prices continue to climb strongly in May, surging 5% from a year ago. Highest annual inflation rate in 13 years. Man, shut up. Stupid headlines. Financial Times isn't listing it. Sure, the New York Times has it. Oh, yeah. U.S. consumer prices rise. A bigger jump than expected. Oh my gosh, 5%. Not really. Like, we matched our month over month jump, and we knew that the year over year was going to be trash. But of course, the articles are going for the clickbait. I mean, I guess you can't blame it, but it's pretty funny. You know, next thing you know, you're going to get people that that start extrapolating off of this. Oh my gosh, well, if it's 5% now, next month it's going to be 6%, and then that's it. That's it. We're going to hyperinflation. No. When you actually look at the month-over-month data and you consider the fact that airline fares, used cars, and trucks are up each like 7%, this is not that big of a deal. Microvision is actually moving right now. Of the momentum stocks, I only see Microvision. Microvision tends to run to like 24 to 27. We've been talking about that since it was like 12. Like, the price was 12, not 12 years old. And so, you know, we'll keep an eye on Microvision today. But so far, it's really the only momentum stock here that's moving. Oh, look at that. You've actually got Tesla that's green. Let's see here. Yeah, Tesla rotating up a little bit. And you could see that, no, initially you had a small downside reaction here on CPI. I think that may be to the headline number. And then you could see tech actually doing well. Well, Tesla doing well in the minutes thereafter after the data got digested. But yeah, otherwise, right now it's not a good look here for a lot of momentum. Ocugen down 26%, Geo down 11, Playboy down 7, GameStop's not as bad as it was right now, down 7.7, Root, Etsy. Yeah, a lot of these momentum guys moving to the downside here. I did close all of my momentum positions, obviously without except AMC. I did promise that I would hold AMC, but other than that promise, I did close my momentum positions because I do think we're going into a potential period of consolidation and momentum. It takes a while for Wall Street to try to, or Wall Street bets, I should say, to try to recalibrate, to refocus on something. I don't think this CPI data gave any kind of like real catalyst here for anything to run or plummet. It just wasn't enough of a change in either direction. It pretty much met expectations for month over month. I mean, it virtually nailed it. I mean, a tiny little bit higher with the 0.6 versus the 0.4 expected by Wall Street. So a tiny little fraction higher, but it's really negligible. So, okay. All right. Well, there's that change. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to market open, but I don't know. We'll go to market open here in a few minutes. What else? Anybody have any questions? CPI data very high? Not really. Like you got to watch the whole video before you make comments like that. I'll look at the live chat. We'll see what we got here. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna set. There we go. Okay. All right. Let me do a quick little comment peek here at comments on CPI, and then we'll circle right back. So let's look here at 10-year treasury. 10-year treasury. I'm pretty Why are you so bad at push-ups? I know I got to work on my push-ups. I felt like I had to do a lot of them during the last live, that the fundraiser. So take a peek at this. The treasury yields actually popped up a little bit. They're still relatively low, but we did get a little pop up here. We have been a little lower than this here. Yeah. So we kind of rotated down over the last few days, hit a low of about 1.48, a little pop up here to 1.53. I expect that trend to still continue down. Are you thinking we continue in this positive trend over the summer, or we will trade sideways? No, I think tech and consumer discretionaries are going to come back here. Tech, consumer discretionary by September, October. Supply chains will start rotating back to normal. We'll see inflation continue rotating down, which this is the highest month. This was literally the worst month, and we saw this coming. I can tell you exactly why we saw this coming. St. Louis Fred, CPI data. Like it literally told you in the chart that this was going to be the worst month. Watch. All right, you go over here. There you go. Look at this. So year-over-year data. April was last month, right? Look what happened in May, which is what we just got. It went down more. So we had a deeper hole to compare to going, flipping back to last year. So not a surprise here at all. I think the headline 5% is totally misleading. Month-over-month inflation is fine, and it's really weighed up by airlines going back to their old school pricing, which makes sense, and used cars and trucks. So not a big deal here. Inflation continuing, rotating down. I mean, this person here with the LOL emojis apparently didn't watch the video, and so I'm not going to even respond to people who clearly didn't watch the video where we just broke all of this down. Cars are expensive due to a shortage of electronics. Many plants have been idled. Their supply chain issues are the biggest risk to the economy right now. This is true, and it could take years to fully clear supply chain issues. What else do we have? Yeah, I mean, you could see that the market's not really responding to the CPI data, so it's not that big of a deal. Which stocks consider momentum? I don't see a lot of stocks acting like momentum. I think momentum stocks are ones that all of a sudden get a surge in volume from either media or social media. That isn't spawned by actual company fundamental changes. All right. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the market live stream. So you're going to get a little pop-up on your screen while we transition over. Make sure to use the coupon code down below to get 40%.
All right, so the CPI data is out, and I would say that was, I mean, that wasn't bad news, that wasn't a good news either. I think exactly we should expect a little bit of consolidation prices. You might see, I mean, of course, since this is supposed to be like the worst one that we have had, so probably this one could be seen as that, hey, from now on we're gonna move upward and the worst case is now finished and things like that. So I mean, we have to just wait and see which one of them is gonna happen. but I expect still some of the momentum stocks go lower. You can see fuel cell, Plug, Workhorse, like Ballard Power. What was it? Ballard? Yeah, Ballard Power, TTCF, Blink. So these are down. And what are the things that are up? Okay, Macrovision is up. I think Macrovision just got a news that is gonna join Russell 2000. So yeah, that is that. What else is moving upward? We have Ideanomics. I don't know really if Ideanomics moves up or not. I have a price target of more or less this 485 for now. I think I'm gonna take my profit there. But at the other side, again, I think it's gonna come back at some point. Usually, when these momentum stocks they move up, they just go on for a while. So, but again, my opinion of this Ideanomics was to double my money. So I think I can get it done, and I will be happy with that. So let's see if there is anything else. I think we don't have still anyone else talking on the CPI data. What we are seeing is that let's have a look at Nasdaq. So Nasdaq is not exactly sure it's going. Probably. I mean, this is the 5 minute. You can see it hasn't decided yet which way it is going. It takes some time for people to digest basically such data. I don't know. I think it was not a bad news, and that is good. So I don't know if market is gonna be happy about it or not. I don't think so, but again, if it was a bad news, then definitely things were going in toward a more lower direction, and of course, then all the news outlets and hedge funds gonna having this heaven for themselves that hey, we told you there will be inflation. So in that sense, I'm happy that that we're doing good at this stage. But let me see. Let me see. Everything is okay. When is the next CPI data? Let me check. I mean, CPI data release date. I just search in Google, and the next one is so July 13. July 13 will be exactly at this time will be the next CPI data. This was the worst. This was the worst one, as someone in the chat is also mentioning. This is basically the worst case scenario because last year this time, 4 months to month, for year to year, that was really at a low position. So there was a dip, and because we are now comparing ourselves to that dip, so naturally people are seeing it as a really big number. But I think people knew that they shouldn't consider that one in their calculation. So months over months, it was as expected. So I think this is not really a specific news. I would still say that this is still gonna be going downwards a bit, but not as high if we were actually exceeding the inflation data. So we have almost half an hour before the market open. Let's go and check some of our crypto. Let's check with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin had a little bit of move upward from that. This is 5 minutes. Let's go for a little bit longer time frame. Okay, so as discussed, I will be only taking trade for Bitcoin at this stage for buy if it really moves up and the direction is changed. This is for the weekly chart, and you can see that in weekly this is definitely in a lower trend, and it has been going downward since then. I'm not gonna sell Bitcoin, so I mean I'm not gonna short it, so yeah, but I'm not now convinced of buying yet. There are of course these swings that you can get, but one of these swings will be that in my opinion it will go the other direction. You never know, but I think people can really use the volatility. One of the big problems I have trading Bitcoin is that on eToro we have a very high spread. Do you want to check? Let's check eToro's spread on this. We have Bitcoin. So the price says that it's 37,674. Okay, 64. And let's now compare these two numbers. Actually, it's not that bad right now. I mean, this is now moving upward because of that. Probably they have a better. If I check this, oh, this is okay. But when you look at this one, I mean, with Bitcoin you get to 800 sometimes with eToro. So, but right now this is okay, I guess. 300 is nothing compared to other stuff. Yeah, and by the way, eToro also brought a couple of new, like starting this week. So Woozy was one of those. I wanted to get Woozy when it was much lower than this. I think Woozy was something around 8 or 10, but there wasn't anything, and it then ran all the way up. And again, a little bit too much move upward for that, but yeah, I would wait for it to get back a little bit. I mean, this is still in a very high valuation, but it's a good technology. They do this, what is it called? AR, sorry, VR, virtual reality kind of glasses. But yeah, Cathy Wood, Greenblatt, okay. Yeah, of course, insider selling. But yeah, anyway, this is one of the ones that I'm excited. The other one is Golden Nugget. This is online gaming company, and this is also has been in a downtrend. I actually really think that with Golden Nugget, you can actually double your investment. That's my, but it's a risky, it's a momentum, and because of that it's not the best time to get into the momentum stocks. But honestly speaking, this is really good. This is really good at these levels. I think you can expect this to go higher. It's right now in a downtrend. So you have this, I mean, did break basically. Let's see. Yeah, basically broke that line. So you can expect this to come back, maybe hit somewhere here, 12.13, and time this also moved down, and then if it starts to go the other way around. So I would say somewhere around 12.15, 12 area is a good one, and anything below that, of course, swell. But they missed something. Yeah, anyway, this is the other one that I'm really excited about. But let's go to Ethereum. How is that? Actually, it didn't go down as much as, I mean, at least when you look at it, it's not as crazy as Bitcoin in a downtrend, although it has started its downtrend. But visually you can, I mean, I'm not gonna keep this, but you know, it's a movement. Oh, it's a movement like this. You can see that 1, 2, almost 3, and then 4. You can see some movement like this for Ethereum, but I'm not surprised that this is broken and it goes down. So I'm not gonna keep this for now here. And that should be then good enough. What else should we have a look? Anything? Let's check Cardano. Yeah, USD. With Cardano, I wanted to get in at 1. It hit 1, but it didn't fill my position. And yeah, I couldn't actually make the trade here. So then it, of course, went back up. It came back down. I thought that no, it will, and then it went up. I thought that it can come back. No, it didn't. I didn't want to chase, and here we are. This is 50% moved from that level that I was looking to get. But I mean, if you chase, sometimes you get hurt really bad. So I don't want to chase anymore. I've done it enough, and I actually lost money because of that. So I try to buy at the prices that I'm comfortable with. What else? Crypto trade may find a champion with extra businesses. Safety's partner. I didn't raises as did I join already? Yeah. So let's see if Microvision is moving on that news. Microvision also recently been added to eToro, so in that sense, that's a happy thing for us. For me, let me see. Yeah, so it's not at least moving. It was exactly at the same position. When was going to be added? I mean, of course, Russell is not as big as S&P. What happened for Tesla, for example, when they joined S&P, but yeah, I expected this to have an effect. I mean, I don't know. The fact that based on the data, Microvision is not on downtrend could be a good thing. So yeah, we keep an eye on that one. But I mean, maybe the data was out before that. I mean, how long did the stream? Half an hour ago we came and it was exactly at the same position. and it is still there. So I don't know. Maybe it starts to move later on. Ideonomics. This is exactly, I think, because of the same thing. It was mentioned it's moving up because there is a news that it can actually go up or go to the Russell 2000, I guess. What was it, 2000 or 3000? This one maybe is easier to find. Where was Ideonomics? Yeah, here. Okay, this is 3000 as well. So, yeah. Okay, anyway, Riot, Maracan, these are also Bitcoin mining stocks. Clove. Clove got crazy yesterday. How much? 37, 38% downward. 40%, yeah. Virgin Galactic. I'm surprised these are not lower for now, but we'll see when the market opens in almost half an hour. We can see what we can expect. Let's check if there is any specific news that we can have a look at it together.
Comparisons, it's a nudge up and a noticeable nudge up from what we saw in the month of April. And it's also above what the street's estimates were going to be, even though they were already projecting it to be higher. So the question at hand, though, is whether or not that is going to be a structural thing that we should expect to see as a permanent component of this post-pandemic economy. And I think you're going to have to look at these industry by industry level sectors and say, is that specific sector rather in the month of May seeing these dramatic price increases because of more deeply rooted, inflationary trends that could be cost push, for example. But I think when you look at what's actually going up, when you look at used car prices, rentals, airline prices, sporting event tickets, these are all things that, again, are part of that reopening trade. And a lot of that could be due to constraints. As we know, cars have continued to be constrained because of the lack of microchips out there. So people can't find used cars, people can't find new cars, and that's why those prices are going up. That ripples out into many other types of adjacent industries when it comes to car insurance, car servicing, auto parts, things like that. So all of those prices are going up, and we know how expensive that specific category can be for households. That's a reason why Fed officials will probably continue to say that these types of pressures will be transitory, and we need a few more months of data to see how that gets parsed out.
Yeah, and just finally on that point, Brian, you look at the weighting within this. 23% of the weight, 24% basically is OER, owner's equivalent rent. Overall shelter is about 33%, and that was up 2.2%. And it feels like when you have 3% of the index with used car sales up 30%, it feels like the job for Jay Powell right now, next Wednesday, is going to be quite easy to explain this. I sort of wonder how you're thinking about, you've talked to a lot of Fed officials in the last month, how you're thinking about what data might look like that is more challenging for them to explain away. Because, as you outlined, it's really not that hard of a story for them to tell, at least to the markets. Maybe consumers don't like it, but markets understand why the Fed is going to shrug a lot of this stuff off.
No, and it's not a hard story for them at all to tell because they're not pinned down to a specific reaction function where if any sort of inflation print on a year-over-year basis hits X number, like you'll recall the Evans rule after the last crisis, then they would be required to do some sort of policy tightening. I think when the Federal Reserve changed their framework in the Jackson Hole meeting last year, you recall that they kind of created this outcome-based, not even outlook-based policy where they say we need to reduce that shortfall of maximum employment and also try to get inflation moderately above its 2% target before they even consider the idea of tightening policy. So I think for the Fed, this print, yes, it is a notch up, a noticeable notch up from what we saw in April. It's not necessarily unexpected. We've heard Fed officials, especially here on Yahoo Finance over the last 6 weeks, talk about the idea that they expected those figures to go up. But that's not going to cause them to have any sort of reaction function because it's not like they said, well, if CPI on a headline basis reaches 4.5% on a year-over-year basis or higher, they would instantly have to start talking about tapering. That's not the case, and that would have been the case if they said that, because we saw obviously that CPI on the headline come in at 5% for the month of May. So the Federal Reserve is pretty much looking at this report, thinking the same thing that they thought since the last report, which means it's still going to be some time before the Federal Reserve ultimately raises rates, and those forecasts that we'll get next Wednesday will be the next hint as to what they might do next.
Yeah, and certainly seems the bond market has gotten that message over the last couple of months, though there's been a lot of chatter about sort of where this is all going. All right, Brian Cheung, thanks for stopping by on this inflation morning. All right, let's move now to our biggest stock story we have been following for the last few weeks. That, of course, the resumption of the meme trade. But GameStop out last night. Of course, GameStop, really the grand poobah here among these meme names. It was out with its latest quarterly results, and really the biggest news is that they finally announced that they will have a new CEO. We see the results here, beating on the top line, about $1.3 billion in revenue during the most recent quarter. So GameStop certainly on track, or on an annualized basis, looking at revenues north of $5 billion for the year, with the holiday quarter waiting, likely to do quite a bit better than that. Losses less than expected, more narrow than expected, but the company announcing that Matt Furlong will be its new CEO. He joins the company from Amazon. GameStop also announcing that Mike Recupero will be its next CFO. He also joins the company from Amazon, and so we see GameStop here overhauling its C-suite. They also announced, Julie, that they are having a $5 million at-the-market offering. Doesn't mean that they have to help them. They have to, offer that right now. But finally, seeing GameStop be a little bit more aggressive in coming to market to use the value of its currency, which of course is its share price, which even with an 8% decline today, trading at $280 per share. And we remind viewers once again that about a year ago, this was a $4 stock.
Yes, indeed. It was a $4 stock, and it's made a lot of money for a lot of people. As I was looking through the results here, and not just the results, but the commentary from Ryan Cohen, I kept thinking about Keith Gill, AKA Roaring Kitty, who was one of the first people to sort of publicly pound the table on this stock. As we know, he became quite famous for doing so later, but there weren't too many other people following him. And, we tend to sort of poo-poo the fundamental case on many of these meme stocks because they haven't mattered. But his case was originally a fundamental case. And so I just wonder what he thinks now. And of course, he's a very rich man as a result of GameStop. But I do have to wonder what he thinks of the fundamental path of this company at this point. And I say that because Ryan Cohen at the shareholder meeting yesterday said, we have a lot of work in front of us. Moving forward, we want you to judge GameStop based on our actions, not our words. And he also said, we won't give you a detailed plan. You won't find us talking a big game, making a bunch of lofty promises, or telegraphing our strategy to the competition. Okay, but so what are the actions besides this share filing? You've hired new people, but at some point you do have to make a plan. If you're not going to tell anybody, I don't know exactly how that works. And when is it going to bear fruit? So I don't know. I think, yeah, sure, it doesn't matter what the fundamentals are at this point, except that it does a little bit because the stock is down today. And I think at some point they are going to have to tell people what they plan to do for the company.
Yeah, I think the immediate plan might just be to use all the cash that they have raised to close hundreds of these stores, and maybe invite Mario and Luigi into the stores when key games launch, get people excited to come in there. But I just want to say, too, the sad state of that conference call last night, it was actually pretty laughable. An 11-minute earnings call by an outgoing CEO, no question and answer session with analysts. The poor guy, and this is outgoing CEO George Sherman, and I'm sending him a virtual hug this morning, 11 minutes on a conference call. He had to congratulate the new guy that is coming in to take his job in a couple of weeks. Also congratulate the new CFO coming into a job he will no longer hold. He thanked shareholders at the end, and he did the peace out sign. I mean, it's just...
He doesn't need your hug. He's getting a payout.
He's getting a payout, but still, I want to send it to him because he is. We've joked a little bit about, his what he has done at GameStop over the past 2 years or so. But this is still an accomplished executive who likely didn't want to go out like this. So to stick him on a conference call for 11 minutes is pretty absurd. In all actuality, it should have been Ryan Cohen on that call. Man up, get on that call, say something, and leave George Sherman. Just put him out to pasture, let him go do his thing, and join a board somewhere.
Well, look, I mean, I think the challenge for GameStop here, which is different than AMC, is that their management has not been aligned through this process. Now, in its 10Q, GameStop did disclose that they received an SEC request for documents basically related to that period where, what's the exact language here? Request from staff for voluntary production of documents and information concerning an SEC investigation into the trading activity in our securities and securities of other companies. So this is basically the SEC looking at the entire meme trade of which GameStop is a part, not really specific to GameStop shares. But to that point about George Sherman leaving and him not really taking questions from analysts, again, with an activist in this name, and that story goes back to the end of last year when GameStop was trading in the teens and the 20s, and the stock was still up 5x from where it had been just a few months prior. It was a nutty story at the end of 2020, way before we got into any of this. And I think that tension between what are we going to do, what is the George Sherman management team going to do, and how are they going to deal with these activists, I think is a story that never really got resolved while the stock went and quintupled and quadrupled and did whatever it did. I mean, what's it up? 1,600% this year, whatever our chart said. I mean, it's just kind of eye-popping numbers. And I think, look, as a look behind the curtain here, we are doing a meme special on this show tomorrow, and there are really no analysts that want to talk to us about GameStop because it's not really a stock that you can look at and discuss fundamentally in a serious way. Because remember, Keith Gill, the most bullish, optimistic GameStop kind of believer going back in time, and he's not alone in this sort of, let's call it the Wall Street Bets view of the company. They were looking at it as a company that could go, or a stock that could go into the 20s, 30s, maybe the 40s. That has those guys up 10x from their initial investment. So, I mean, I think that there's a credible fundamental case for the business improving dramatically, but even the most ardent believers were discussing that $250 per share ago. So there's really there's really nothing else to add at this point, Julie. So I take your point that there's no fundamental case. I mean, there is one. It's just, it's hard to find it, kind of in the mess of what we've been looking at in the last couple of months.
Yeah, and the mess also, to Sazi's point, it has to do with the management, and to your point that they're not aligned. And I just want to sort of close out, given your comment that analysts don't want to talk about this company. I was struck by the commentary in a note from the analysts at Baird who cover the stock, Colin Sebastian, Dalton Kern. They wrote in a note, investors deserve more than memes to value a company's fundamental long-term prospects. And I think that kind of sums up their attitude, analyst attitude probably in general about this name.
Yeah, and I think that's why they'll put it in a note to their clients. And, as members of the media, we can often get access to that stuff. But nothing more to say is probably the real attitude there. Maybe if you get them on the phone or, over a beer or something, they talk through kind of how they're thinking about it. But they certainly don't want to come on the record in public and have to discuss that name at any more length than they are already required to. But again, as we mentioned, 10 o'clock hour tomorrow, we're going to have a full meme special, just kind of covering the whole trade, talk about some of these names, special. Talk about the short interest side of it. Brian Chung is going to walk us through some of the details of stock issuance, which has been a big hot part of this topic. So again, 10 o'clock Eastern tomorrow here on Yahoo Finance, a full meme trade special. All right, coming up on the other side of this break, we're going to talk more about today's big inflation report. Claudia Sahm going to join us for that conversation coming up right after this.
I mean, consumer price index jumps 5% year to year. Of course, we knew that this will be the worst since for like a long time. They're saying August 2008. We knew that is gonna, but you have to remember, this time last year it was probably one of the lowest position. I mean, there is this dip. And because you're basically comparing this year result to that year result, of course the year to year is your big thing here. But yeah, there is another actually video that I wanted actually to share with you guys. Maybe we look at it together.
Move brings us to a surprising move, or really not a move. in rates. The price of just about everything is going up. Food, soybeans, corn, energy, materials, including lumber. But the yield on the 10-year has been kind of trendless, but if you watch it, if you really look at it on a micro basis, it's in recent sessions has actually headed back down, as you can see, 1.5. So, you know, instead of just passing right through 1.6 or 1.7 on the way to 2, you'd have to give Tepper obviously a lot of credit, but I don't know how we can figure out what's really happening and whether it's manipulated, if you will, by the Fed and QE, or whether the market just thinks that things are transitory. Joining us to discuss this market dynamic, what it means for investors, Kevin Nicholson, Global Fixed Income co-CIO at Riverfront Investment Group. I think your view, Kevin, I guess you probably acknowledge that the Fed is in here, obviously buying, but a lot of these moves in prices, in inflation, in commodities, very likely, or very possibly, I'll say, could be transitory, so the 10-year maybe has that viewpoint.
Yes, I definitely think that the 10-year has bought into the Fed's idea of it being transitory.
This is 10-year.
You know, we normally think of inflation when wages are actually rising persistently, and we haven't gotten that yet. What we have gotten, like you said, Joe, is that we've seen prices of lumber and commodities go up. However, we believe that this is transitory because we all knew coming into 2021 that once we got to March and April, we were going to see, you know, inflation go up because of the base effect, because 2020 was so low. However, we think that from a fixed income standpoint, from the 10-year standpoint, part of the reason that we're in this range and actually yields have been coming down is largely because of expectations. The economic data that has come out recently has not met expectations, even though they've been good numbers. A prime example was last week's jobs report. They reported 559,000 new jobs. But they were expecting 675,000. So that's why you kind of see the 10-year right now actually not moving or not going higher.
You do see 1.8 to 2 by the end of the year. So it's June 10th. I just realized, I said that at the top of the show. I have to remind myself sometimes because time goes so quickly. But so it's June 10th. We don't have that much time left. I guess we have 6 months or so to get to 1.8 to 2. But you don't think during the summer that we make any moves really in that direction? You think 1.5 to 1.65 range bound for the summer because there's going to be no tapering. They're going to maybe have some body language. Maybe a couple of Fed officials will talk about it, but no concrete even plans to say that they're going to start tapering. So we stay down here.
Yeah, that's what I believe. I think that you're not going to really see the Fed start to really make a decision until Jackson Hole. So I've been thinking over the last couple of months that it was going to be this 3-month period, June, July, and August, that the Fed was actually going to look at all of the economic data that came in to really make a final decision if inflation was actually coming in as being transitory, or if they actually needed to start to taper. And I expect that they will start those conversations or have that first taper talk in September at that September meeting.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC.
Yeah, so that was that. Let's
Is it gonna start cooling off some?
And Claudia, from the Fed's perspective, Brian was talking earlier about how we don't have an Evans rule type situation here where someone has said, when this happens, we will do that. Do you think the Fed has made their life a lot easier by bringing in the average inflation target and not having any kind of hard trigger for when they might begin tapering asset purchases or raise rates, so on and so forth?
Right. The Fed needs to have flexibility. This is true in the past, and it is absolutely true right now. They are going to watch the data, watch the world unfold, and adjust. They gave us some pretty clear guidance last year and a big shift in saying we want to see 2% on average. We need to remember last year inflation year over year was running at about 1%. This year, where it's at, and I think frankly where it's going to be through the end of the year, is around 3%. 1 and 3, average 2, right? This is what they were telling us as guidance. They're not going to give us a specific rule because they need to have discretion. But frankly, I think at this point, markets are starting to figure out what the Fed's plan is. It's a new one. It has some risks attached to it, but they are going to bat for workers because they have a dual mandate and we are millions of jobs short.
You know, and on that last point, you know, we're all talking about inflation a lot. There's a big debate about it being transitory or not. As we all sort of fixate on that, what is the other thing or things that you're watching that you think maybe the bigger narrative is missing because of the, you know, focus on inflation?
Yeah, I think there's a big opportunity cost on our time right now in terms of so focused on inflation. We knew this was coming. The rescue package pumped out another $2 trillion into the economy. We knew there'd be demand. You can only spend your stimulus check once. Unemployment benefits are going to run out in some states this month. What we should be talking about are the infrastructure plans, the investments in people. We need to do that really well, and that's about supporting longer term growth, right? We should stop relitigating the rescue package and look forward and really focus on getting that done and getting it done well.
Well, we'll see if Washington can do that, let alone other economists. Claudia Sahm, thank you so much. It's great to see you. Senior Fellow at the Jane Family Institute.
No problem. Microsoft said its Xbox gaming unit is working on new hardware and deals with TV makers that will let people play games and experience the Xbox without needing to buy a gaming machine. Yes. Oh, one more device would be so wonderful. The worst thing ever is sitting there and dealing with all your HDMI cables and your TV. It sucks. The idea would be to embed the Xbox experience directly onto an internet-connected TV. It's smart. Meanwhile, Xbox is also building streaming devices to enable cloud gaming services on any TV or monitor. Wow. Cloud gaming is a breakthrough. That's juicy. Oh, man. But I don't know. I miss the days of my old Xbox, the old Xbox CD drive. You know, the little bing. I don't know. The original one, you know? Oh. I just wanted to see the little slide open, but they're just showing me the whole drive unit. You know, you just... whatever. I'm being boring. Sorry. I'm getting distracted. But yeah, this is interesting. The headline news is a joke. Ignore this with inflation. Everybody expected this to be the worst month for the headline reading. Crypto lender BlockFi launches institutional investor platform. Ooh, BlockFi. BlockFi launching bundled financing and trading platform for institutional and high net worth clients. BlockFi Prime. BlockFi Prime. The digital asset borrowing, the new services, which will be available to clients, including asset managers, family offices, hedge funds, private equity firms, corporate equity, will feature real-time quotes and 24-hour delayed settlement. Company is expected to offer capabilities for margin trading and automated margin lending, as well as derivatives, so options. Ooh. So some fancy, wealthy people are going to get more access to do more fancy things with crypto, but us normal folk won't see that for a while.
Orsted has been getting hammered. Just look at the graph. I mean, obviously, you can see where it's coming from, but it's just crazy the way that Orsted was just dumped with all the other renewable. Look, this move was over-exaggerated, and so is this one. And yeah, I actually think that where we are at this range, that makes sense. At 800, completely makes sense. So I'm gonna add to it gradually. Okay, so let's have a look at the pre-market.
The day before was a substantially green day. Okay, and come on, there we go. We had 50 million. Okay, 30 to 50 million for the first minute. The more we get towards 50 million, the better. Because 30 million gave us lots of volume, but it was also on a red day. So keep an eye on this. The first minutes can be really, really, really exciting. So we'll see what happens. First minute is now 1 minute away. I want to say this, by the way. Hopefully you don't mind me saying this. Go to meetkevin.com if you can. Check this out. Free big rallies. San Francisco.
So let's check NASDAQ. So this is actually moving higher. Could be a bull trap. Just that there will be a lot of volatility now. Should we take a trade now? Let's see. NASDAQ. I don't know. All right. Can open.
Right, watch it. Okay, there's that red. There's that red. We were expecting this. Is it going to be a potential buy the dip? 18 mil in volume so far. It's coming back. Pull it back. Pull it back. All right, let's get this pre-market out of here. There we go.
For me, it's too far away to take a trade like that. Okay. What else is moving? Let's remove this. Let's have a check. So we have, what was this? Long, this is Chinese Hong Kong stock basically. By the way, there are very good opportunities there, I guess soon. So if you're interested, we can talk about that as well. Okay, Clove is getting higher. What are the losers? Arkhorse, Tilray, Zoom, DraftKings, Amazon, SoFi. SoFi is actually going up. Etsy. Etsy is moving up. How about Square? Yeah, Square is going down. Not really, it's just let's go to the 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so if I go SI, short interest on WIT. Short interest right now.
Quite that far yet, but it is certain.
Let's bring it from here.
At some point, that kind of enthusiasm did spill over to the broader market, because if you look at it, the combination of incredibly easy monetary policy, intense liquidity, margin debt levels at the high, and speculative fever and actual money making, if you look at the meme stocks over the last several weeks, though that kind of explosive upside price action could be and might well be part of the end game of this bull market, but we don't necessarily see that kind of activity broadly until perhaps 2022.
And, Julian, as you know, I mean, things are so different this meme time around, just looking at the VIX. It's basically at half the level it was back in January and February. But the meme trade makes me think also of what's happening with crypto. And that's at an interesting inflection point where there's obviously always speculative enthusiasm around that.
BNJ
But
is going
the
up.
story allegedly has been about big money institutions, the kind of folks that you work with and for, adopting crypto. What have your clients been saying on that front? As like the S&P and the bond market, Bitcoin's kind of gone nowhere over the last several months.
So the institutional clients continue to believe in the story long term. It's all about the blockchain technology and its potential transformative power as it begins, to be adopted. And again, I'd remind people that the adoption statistic, basically 2% of the world's population has interacted with cryptocurrencies in one form or another. That number in the internet, 2% adoption interaction, was in 1996. So that tells you about the scope of the runway. From our point of view, the institutions that we speak to have all been adding to their positions as Bitcoin in particular has drifted towards 30,000. Could we go a little lower when we finally get some U.S. government edicts on regulation? Absolutely, but we think that'd be a buying opportunity. The long-term picture remains very interesting to us.
All right, Julian Emanuel, Chief Equity and Derivatives Strategist over at BTIG. Julian, always great to get some time with you. Hopefully, we'll talk soon. Hopefully, we'll see you in person and not too many months from now. All right, let's take a look inside the Yahoo Finance interactive touchscreen here as we get today's trading session underway. About 5 minutes into the session, and Julie, we see stocks on the move higher.
We do indeed. And so it looks like the inflation data today, while it was showing strength, it wasn't anything to sort of spook the markets here on that transitory question that Julian was just talking about. Is so pivotal for markets right now. We've got the Dow higher 0.6%, the S&P up about 0.5%, the NASDAQ up about 1/3%. And we've been talking as well about what's going on with yields. I think we have to mention that in the wake of these numbers at 1.52%, up just 3 basis points. So a relatively modest move here in the 10-year, as you can see over the course of this. And in reaction to the data, you see that little bit of a tick up on the left side of the chart here in response to the numbers. If you look at the longer term chart, of course, we have been seeing yields trend lower pretty significantly. Let's flip on over to the Wi-Fi interactive heat map, the Yahoo Finance heat map here, and we see that most of the FANG stocks are trading higher here this morning. And this is interesting as well, right? Because we had seen that the big cap tech was sort of the most vulnerable to inflation, or at least perceived as the most vulnerable to inflation. We should mention that the headline numbers, while they were hot, were a little bit lower than anticipated. So that seems to be perhaps what's reflected here as well. If you look at the Dow movers here, it's all green. It looks like all 30 components within the Dow are higher today. Meme stocks, let's check on those. They sort of operate independently of that macro picture, the economic data, and GameStop, of course, is the...
God, it really hurts me when they put Palantir as a, meme stock. I don't know.
And said it was filing to sell 5 million shares at the market. So the shares are down 8% in today's session. Miles?
Well, look, when you got the meme trade cooling off, you might as well buy all of the Dow 30 names, good old-fashioned blue chips there, to get everyone settled into this market. And as we head to break here, we're going to head to Jared Blicker on the other side of the break, down on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Right, what else do we have here?
Oh yeah, AMC's going green now. Let's go.
Oh, let's say Jared. No, he's not ready yet. No, he's not ready yet. So.
Okay, you know what I might do? Just for the day. Let's see here. Let's see if we can play around a little bit. Okay, we're going to play a game. Okay. I'm going to go... edit. Okay, let's see if that goes through. Yep, okay. I'm going to buy a short-term day trade call on AMC. And I just did. All right. We're going ape. Should have done that like 5 minutes ago, but I didn't think about it. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, 1 sec. Could be. Okay, sorry. Every time I make a trade, I have to post exactly what it is, and so I had to honor that. So I honored that. And remember, if you want those alerts, you pay once, you get like.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. It seems that the market generally is moving upward, and that's obviously as we discussed yesterday, is that okay? Cool. What should I do with this now? Two-hour. I mean, I don't know yet. I just feel like Qualcomm is at a very good price, so I have to get something. But yeah, crowd went up. How about the Square? Let's say Square. Let's buy at 210. Yeah. And let's check net. Cloudflare. Too high. Too high. I should have bought here. But yeah, you can play that game a lot.
Not recovering. GameStop not really recovering. We got out of most of, well, we got rid of all of our momentum options with the exception of right now an AMC option that I added. Going 8. Tattooed, and still have obviously our shares of AMC. Those aren't going anywhere. No idea what the 9 LTD is. No idea. Workhorse, yeah, just be careful with the momentum right now. Yeah, Workhorse is falling. Momentum's evaporated right now. We've got PubM, not really going strong here either. It's just not, I'm not going super heavy on anything right now. It's a little bit soft, just the market broadly.
Yeah, he's right.
A little soft on momentum. I do think AMC has a nice catalyst today, though, for a potential run. I don't know how much. Obviously, crystal ball here. But the data is favorable. We'll see what happens. It's red candle sticking slightly right now. It is up 1.44%. That's better than the down 2.5 to 4% that we saw earlier. We've got a second red candlestick forming right now. Okay, we'll see what happens. Maybe this creates a new resistance level, but I really think this has to run to 51 and not sit around 50 here. So we'll see what happens. We've got Tesla. There it is. Tesla moving nicely. We do have an event today. Asia Broadband is gold mining. Well, see, what do I know? I've told you I don't know anything about it. But so you're telling me that a gold mining company is calling themselves Broadband. It goes to show you how little I know about Asia Broadband. So don't ask me about it. So, yeah. How much is the stock worth? I don't know. Go to the website and type in the coupon code. What's the coupon code? I'm not leaving. That's right, because I'm not leaving. That's the coupon code. So use that coupon code. I'm not leaving if you want another price. Just pop it in, and then you can see for yourself. Tesla, a little bit of red candlestick. We do have today's the Plaid event, right? Tesla Plaid event. Check out drone footage of the Plaid event. June 10th. Ooh, Plaid delivery event. Really? We'll start customer deliveries. Oh, it's just starting deliveries of 3 motor. Oh, that's juicy. That's juicy. I wonder how far they're booking those out. I won't buy one. I promise I won't buy one. For now. Today. Plaid 122. How long until it's available? How long is it booking out? How long does somebody have to wait? Oh no, look, it's a June delivery. Oh, it's a June delivery. Go buy it. Can we sell all of our stocks and just buy it? June delivery. You can get it ASAP. A campaign car. They better have the 4680 cell. They better. Yeah, that's available soon. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna do it. You know why I'm not gonna do it? Because I got rallies to go to. We're going June 12th rally in San Francisco, Los Angeles, June 19th. It's free to sign up. I want to see you there. Come out and support your boy. Meet Kevin for good. All right, I had to pitch it.
He always pitches it.
Let's go back to the sticks. Come on, Tesla. Get it up, will ya? AMC.
Yeah, so what we can say, at least till now, is that obviously the momentum stock is down, except AMC. Yeah. AMC is looking for a move, and you can expect that.
These people are morons. What is this crap? This literally said 19%. What the heck? I mean, it's still up. They revised it up. It was 12.5 yesterday. Then it went to 19% this morning. Now it says 13.98. S3 Partners, get your freaking act together.
Yeah, the short data is not right on AMC and some platforms, so that is what is causing him stress. Teladoc is not moving. Let's check Billy. Oh, it went back up. Everything is coming back up.
Somebody wanted to trade it, they could do that. But yeah, uplisting will be a trader event. Wow, Restoration Hardware. Oh wow, 14.65%. That's juicy. That is juicy. Ocugen still climbing. Geo still falling. Jeez. We closed all these out. Good thing we did. Arcimoto, Workhorse, Root, all these options are closed out. Lordstown, another red day. Churchill. Lots of movement here. Let's see. Tattooed, 0.65. Okay. All right. Microvision. How are we doing over here? Microvision's still doing very well today. I like it. AMC sitting at about 2.29. You know, a little slight little red candlestick in here. Yeah, but it's back at the line, and that's what we want to see more of. Let's see if we can get this to break the line. If we can break the line, it'd be great. Hey, Build-A-Bear went positive. Look at that after the opening here. Enphase, SunPower going positive. Awesome. Enphase needs some love. Can we get some love for Enphase here? just a slow clap for Enphase. That's what we need. Enphase is a $350 to $400 stock in the next few years. IMO. Don't sue me, bro, if I'm wrong. At 142, it's a bargain. At $200, I'd still buy it.
I think Enphase gonna have another swing to downwards, but I don't know how low it can get. It went to 110. Maybe we can have a look. Enphase. Yeah. So I think Enphase you can expect to get back to 130, 120, or even to up to 110. That's my opinion. Again, not sure. So
it's the power of the line. Let's go. Here's the break. Come on, push it, push it. See, I got the Ben Mala cup today, so he can yell, "I want my money." That wasn't a good impression. I could do better than that. Yeah, somebody's got to clip Kevin O'Leary saying cash 5 different ways during my millennial money. Cashola. I want cash flow. Cashola. Cash flow. It's funny. He hates the Apple Watch. If you ever want to piss off Kevin O'Leary, show off your Apple Watch to him. Better yet. Oh my gosh. Next time I talk to him, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go, Kevin O'Leary, here's my Apple Watch. It's dead right now, but I'm wearing it as a fashion statement, even though it's dead.
And Kevin O'Leary gets insurance for his watch. So he's really sensitive on that matter.
GameStop. GameStop has had a phenomenal run leading into these earnings here. So, to be down 9% after this dilution, but up, sometimes I wear 2 of them. Actually, do I have my second one? The problem is lately I've been rotating them on the charger. I just haven't been as proactive about wearing 2 of them. But usually when I remember, I wear 2 of them. Yes, this is true. All right. Microvision, good job. Still up 10% here. Come on, AMC. Stop being a little baby. Go that way. Well, that's all right. I'll give it a little bit of breathing room here. Tesla up a couple percent. Very nice.
Let's have a look at this.
Increases in how they have become so public. I mean, I think the Fed can sort of rely on the idea that these hit hard when they happen, and then people kind of forget about them, right? They get used to paying them, just as we will see these increases. I mean, if they're transitory, which the Fed believes they will be, then they won't keep going up. So that's kind of the bet there. My second takeaway is that Brian Sozzi has a lot of sympathy for multi-million-dollar George Sherman, but God forbid you want some oat milk in your coffee, man. Woo! All right,
Julie. Julie, I think Starbucks is going to see a higher corporate tax rate anyway under President Biden. I mean, whatever. Earnings going down.
And maybe the prices will go up more because of that. Who knows? All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear what Sozzi has to say about the link between Amazon and GameStop. We'll be right back.
I really love these 3 combo. They're funny. So it's always fun to watch their program. So I also like Jared. I think Jared is a very, very good journalist. So really like him in that sense. I'm not sure. I mean, someone is asking if the market is then going up. I'm not sure. The reason for that is that the market, I mean, it's moving up, yeah. But again, I think today, if you take a trade, you would have won it. It looks like one of those days. But basically, I'm not really sure. Because I mean, it's moving up, but I'm not really surprised if you suddenly see go the other way around. I don't want to chase now anything. I bought a couple of things, added a couple of small positions to what I wanted, but other than that, I just want to wait a bit. I mean, Chewy is interesting. Maybe I should add Chewy to my list of and I like to get it like below 70. So Square, Etsy, Qualcomm, Crowd, and Net are my top targets right now. Then of course I want to add to Tesla, Upwork, Pins. I mean, I don't have Upwork, for example, right now. MDB either, Twilio either, Shop either. I mean, I have them, but as you know, as a part of other copy portfolio that I do, but it's not that I have them like separately. PayPal. Yeah, PayPal is gonna move up. I just don't know. I'm still like, look, the market has been, let me explain myself. The market has been moving upward almost without a reason, and I'm saying that because they just heard that, hey, inflation data is going to be transitory, it might get better, and very soon they started actually to move up. I mean, again, as a person who has mostly is invested already, I mean, I have only 8% cash now, but as a person, so it's a good news for me, of course, but it just was too much. I mean, for a long period of time, if you look at the stock, almost everything was just moving upward like crazy. Like, look at these moves. Like, I mean, it was just a little bit premature in my opinion. But then again, you don't know. You have to wait and see. I mean, this is the way that market works. Sometimes it just rallies up, boom, boom, boom. And if you're not part of it, then you lost it. So that's why I want to stay invested. But then again, it seemed a little bit, I mean, I'm happy with my cash position right now. And there are positions, I mean, Zillow is another one that I like to add. Like Zillow below 100, absolutely. Like this one, very simply, it just has a simple of 40% here, and this is a company that is gonna really is disruptive regarding to the real estate agencies and all. Let me keep that in line. Zillow, I put 100 for it now, so that I can double check them. But for now anyway, is there any specific stock that you want me to check for you? If there are any specific stock that you'd like me to check it, you can just now type in, and hopefully I can have a better look at them, if I can actually say anything. So Tesla, okay, let's have a look at Tesla. Actually, this is one of those stocks in my list. So look, Tesla has been in this downtrend. It's not a very strong look. The uptrend 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5. So it really sounds like the Tesla wants to just go up. And I mean, I was surprised that it got bounced back from here up, but I expected this to come down and then move up, something like that. It didn't happen, but for now it's almost at 600 again. It's really staying around that range for some time. But in my opinion, long-term Tesla is a good company. Short-term, you can hear this news and that news, but really you were at this point, we were already at the highest amount of fear, uncertainty about Tesla, but it stayed almost at 540. So you can use this as a really line for you. So when you look at it, you have basically 11% downtrend and almost 28 easily. And long term, this thing is, in my opinion, gonna go much higher than this. I mean, if not this year, year after that, or year after that. And this is one of those stocks that you can hold for 5-10 years, in my opinion, unless something fundamentally changes.
AMC is kind of flat. Yeah, it's dancing right here. Okay, good. So if we get a resistance here, or no, if we get a support here, and then we run back to our resistance line, that could be an opportunity to play some trades. Chio just keeps plummeting. Yeah. Redfin's also down 3.4% today. Oh, it's such a mixed day. Mixed bag of what's up and what's down. DoorDash, Walgreens, SolarEdge, Enphase, Zoom. Zoom up after the FaceTime reveal. That's great. Yeah, Zoom's been doing well the last 2 weeks. I mean, it's nowhere near the 400s where it used to be. But, yeah. Wow. All right. What else? Square, 1.7. Microvision. Microvision's the big one here. Doing very well today. HUD 8. Be careful. I'm still expecting this, an uplisting momentum. This uplisting momentum always tends to evaporate. It's a great company, though, nonetheless. Did a few interviews with the CEO. Super fun. Very energetic. I love it. It's like perfect. 12, and super excited about their products too. So 12% here on Microvision, still climbing slowly higher throughout the day. Mind Medicine up 3.5. UWM gave it up.
Roblox below 70. If you get it again, get it below 70. That's my suggestion to you. And then hold it till end of the year at least.
Yeah. How do
you will get rewarded. Yeah. Jumia is down. Uber down. CNE down. Not much down actually. And let's see Home Depot.
Good morning, Carl. Yeah, blockbuster inflation number. But looking at the market today, it looks like investors have made their peace with inflation and already.
Yeah, we've talked enough about inflation. It's not really that big of a blockbuster number. It's just clickbait. All right.
Yeah, well, this is really strange. They're just all the time saying that, yeah, crazy number. We knew that was the case. We knew that the number will be the highest during that time. So I don't know why they are insisting on that. And anyway. All right. What else do I have here? Is there any other stock request? That was the Tilray. Tilray had a good run. It has stopped. Yeah. It's a momentum stock, so it's going down. Okay, here's what I think about Tilray. Look, Tilray is not, in my opinion, yet from a financial statement and balance sheet, a crazy good business. But there are certain things that is helping that. First of all, the legalization. Second of all, of marijuana. Then the next thing is that this is going to be the biggest company in that field, and it will also have cooperation with other countries like they had with England. They're gonna have with other countries, and that obviously will put them in a much better position. And remember, one of the main points about these marijuana companies is that, I mean, the products and things like that can be interesting, but they are easy to reproduce. What matters is that I think the company that can provide with the lowest cost, that will be the winner. And Tilray is a front runner in that position because they have the biggest now company. They have all this logistics and everything. Now they are building up relation with other countries. So in my opinion, fundamentally, it is in a better place than any other marijuana. If you have Planet 13, that's also a very good company. But in my opinion, Tilray, you can have a point which it will come back. From a shorter point of view, you can see that the weekly chart has been going down, and it's really staying in this narrow band all the time. I think that in the next round of rally you can get to 31 or even higher, but if you want to get back to those crazy levels, I think those were done by the Wall Street basically pump. But again, I actually think that 50 in a year or two is a reasonable range for Tilray. Again, it's based on my own due diligence. I myself am already very red in this trade, but again, I was thinking of it as a little bit longer time, so I think it's gonna be a long time before we get back to those values, and we're gonna have a lot of things, lot of different catalysts basically. So that is my opinion about Tilray. So hopefully that was helpful. Let's have a look. Okay, so the market is going down a bit. Yeah, so it had a push and then it down. We're gonna just keep it as it is right now. We're not gonna add too much. We want to keep a little bit of money. Let's check Ørsted. $8.25. I had an order at $8.20, I guess, for Ørsted. $7.95 and $8.20. Yeah. So a square 210, maybe. I think 210 is a good number. I'm gonna keep that. And then anyway, we will be back and check at it again. But I think that's it, at least for this round. For the market open, we saw the CPI data. Don't get tricked by the fact that this is like the craziest number ever. Yeah, everyone knew that already, so it's not news. We knew that that will happen. And let's have a US 100. Yeah, look at the move upward. So what is this? So yeah. Right. Let's have a look at Nasdaq as well. Nasdaq is up 1%, and yeah. Just what I suggest is that treat it with treat it carefully. Don't go all in now. Don't chase. And even if you don't have any position in that, you can build it up gradually. So don't get it like there will be a catalyst. I mean, when hedge funds are really in a mood that, hey, this is the big news and now we are going down, you might expect going down. But if really markets accept the data as it is, then in the longer run we gradually go back to it. So that's from my side, and thanks everyone for joining, and we come back for another round at the market close. So hope to see you there. If you enjoyed the stream, please make sure to follow. That will help the channel, those of you on Twitch, and those of you on YouTube, please subscribe and like the video if you liked it. Anyway, thanks for your time, and hope to see you again here.